Good afternoon, my name is Javier Rodriguez, and today we'll be doing a few exercises from Math 1000, which is basically Calc 1. Okay, so today's exercise is an integral. More specifically, this integral. Alright, the integral with the intervals 1 from 0 to 1 of x plus 1 squared. Sorry about that. X plus 1 squared times the square root of 3 plus x plus 1 cubed. Oh, that's a really ugly 3. dx. Alright, so the first thing we should do is just look at the problem and see what we can do here. Well, we could do integration by parts. You find out that it's very hard because taking the integral of this part right here will be very difficult, and that will be our dB. So taking the integral of that part will end up being very difficult. So I think the best alternative to doing this problem is using U-substitution. Right, so we can set it up as this, so that this particular part inside is our U. That way, once we set that entire thing to be our U, we'll have a U inside the square root, and it'll be easier to get the derivative of that U. So, U equals 3 plus x plus 1 cubed. Now, to get this, we need to do the derivative of U to get du. So, we know that the derivative of U of a constant will always be 0. So, this is 0 right here. Now this one we have to do chain rule. So for chain rule we do 3 times x plus 1 because it's, what's inside stays the same. Then we subtract 1 from the exponent, so this will be 2. And then times what's inside. So that will be just 1. So in general we'll have, and then don't forget the dx. So in general we'll have the u equals 3 times x plus 1 squared dx. So now if we want this to equal this over here in the top, we're gonna have to take out this 3. So what I like to do is just divide all of this by 3, and you'll find out that du equals du over 3 equals x plus 1 squared dx, which is the same thing we have over here in our integral. So now that we have that, we can just go over here to a new page, and we'll have that the integral, we drop our integral once again, for an interval is 1 to 0, du over 3, substitute that for our x plus 1 squared, times square root of u, because remember, the value of u is inside a square root. Alright, so what we can do here to take this u outside so we can integrate is just put 1/3 outside of the integral. So we'll just get du times the square root of u. And now we can integrate. Let me go back to my color red, which orange is it's actually my favorite color. So now we just leave our 1/3 outside, and we do the integral inside. So the integral of u square root of u, or u times 1/2, u to the power of 1/2, excuse me, will be u to the power of 3/2, because 1 is added to the exponent, divided by 3/2. Which is the same thing as writing 2 times u over 3, and then now we have this values right here of our interval 1 and 0. So now that we have that, we just have to substitute by we have to remember to substitute the value of u, or else we're gonna have to change our intervals. So if we remember, the value of u as we obtained earlier is 3 plus 1 plus x cubed. So we just substitute that in there, so it'll be, oh, and remember to multiply these two, so it'll be 2 times 3 plus, let's make a new page because this will be a big number, so let's take a new page. Alright, once we do that, we'll find out that our first value when substituted by 1, which is our first interval, will be 2 times 3 plus 1 plus 1 cubed, all to the power of 3 halves. All of this over 3. Now we have to do the same thing but with 0. So we have to subtract that, so it'll be 2 times 3 plus 0 plus 1 cubed to the power of 3 halves. Excuse my handwriting. All of this over 3. So once you do that, we can start simplifying. So this will be, remember, we take the parentheses equals 2. 2 cubed equals 8. So we do 8 plus 3, which is 2 times 11. So now 2 times 11 to the power of 3 halves, all over 3, and minus 0 plus 1 equals 1. So we have to take the cube of 1, which is going to be 1 as well. Then 1 plus 3 equals 4. So we have 2 times 4 to the power of 2 over 3. Now, if we recall, we can't really simplify 11 to the power of 3 over 2, but we can simplify 4 to the power of 3 over 2. So what we do is that, remember, this is the same thing as writing 4 cubed, the square root of 4 cubed, which is going to be 16. It's going to be 8. Alright, so wait. Yes, which is going to be 8. So now we have that, we can continue simplifying, and this will be 2 times, and since we have the same denominator, we can just put it in the same place. So this will be 2 times 11 to the power of 3 halves minus 2 times 8, which is this, which is going to equal 16. And this should be our final result. Now, if our integral had not had any intervals, we would have to put plus c. But seeing as this one does have the intervals 1 and 0, we do not have to put plus c. So this is our final answer. Now, I hope you learned a bit about calculus today, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you for joining this small lesson.